Hello, Cule family, like and subscribe to the channel to know everything about Barcelona. In this video, we have 3 very important updates about our beloved club. Let's start with the first. From the heart of our Condal city, where the passion for quality football never fades and where the gaze is always turned towards the future, news has arrived that fills us with optimism and that mischievous Cule smile we all know. Barcelona is on the verge of making a masterstroke in the market, shaking the foundations of the Premier League. Our always visionary eyes have set on a talent that has us all on the edge of our seats, Alexander Zinchenko. And what's even better is that Zinchenko himself wants to wear the blue and garnet jersey, and our new strategist, Hansi Flick, has given his full approval for his incorporation. It seems that Atletico de Madrid has taken a first, supposedly firm step in their search for a new left-back by initiating contacts with Zinchenko, currently at Arsenal. The Ukrainian, who had little protagonism last season in London, would be ready to listen to offers, and that of the Colchonero club, according to sources close to him, has sparked his interest. How wrong they are! For while they dream of a profile that fits their rugged and defensive game, Barcelona has already entered the scene, and the players' will, once again, leans towards Camp Nou, towards true football. The defender, who shone brightly at Manchester City before his transfer to Arsenal in 2022, did not have the expected continuity under the orders of Mikel Arteta. The last campaign was particularly complicated for him, with barely a handful of appearances and many matches seen from the bench. This, added to the fact that he only has 1 year left on his contract, has opened the door to a possible departure in this market, and that is precisely where Barcelona has sensed the opportunity, where our strategic vision gives us an invaluable advantage. From the Atletico environment, it is acknowledged that Zinchenko's profile matches what Diego Simeone is looking for: experience in the major leagues, good ball control, and the ability to adapt to a back four as well as more versatile schemes. Please, while they think about their defensive system, we think about how his offensive talent will integrate into our game of passes and constant attacks. The imminent departure of Reinildo, they say, has accelerated their plans, and the Ukrainian international is among their main alternatives. But alternatives are for those who do not have clear ideas. Although there have not yet been direct conversations between the clubs, mutual interest exists, especially from us and the player. Arsenal would be willing to let him go for an amount close to €15 million, a sum which, for Barcelona, is a smart investment for a player of his caliber and experience. While the Colchoneros evaluate whether they are ready to assume this investment based on other summer operations, we know that for a talent like him, the effort is worth it. Zinchenko also has suitors in Italy, but at the Metropolitano, they naively hope that Simeone's project and the possibility of regaining a leading role in a competitive club could be sufficient arguments to tip the balance in their favor. What poor arguments, for Barcelona's project is the true magnet, the possibility of regaining a leading role in the best club in the world, with a style of play that will elevate him to another level, and not in a team that only thinks about defending and locking down. But why is the arrival of Alexander Zinchenko such a pressing necessity and such a fantastic opportunity for Barcelona? Allow me to detail the reasons that lead me to overflowing enthusiasm and that should ignite the excitement of every true Cule. Firstly, his tactical versatility and game intelligence are a treasure that fits perfectly with our philosophy. Zinchenko is not just a left-back. He is a born midfielder turned defender, a player who possesses game vision, passing quality, and an association ability that very few fullbacks in the world have. He can act as an offensive fullback, as a left midfielder, or even as a central midfielder, offering Hansi Flick a huge range of tactical options. His understanding of positional play, his ability to join the attack with discernment, and his skill to play inside make him a unique profile, an inverted fullback who would give a new dimension to our offensive game, opening spaces and generating advantages in the center and on the flank. Secondly, his experience in the elite and his winning mentality are invaluable assets. At his age, Zinchenko has competed at the highest level in the Premier League with Pep Guardiola's Manchester City and with Arsenal. He has won titles and has been a fundamental part of teams that fight for everything. This gives him a maturity and temperament that are vital in a dressing room like ours, where the demand is maximal. His competitive mentality, professionalism, and ability to adapt to different systems make him a player who would bring not only technical quality but also silent leadership and the necessary experience to face the great challenges of La Liga and the Champions League. Finally, his quality in ball control and his ability to provide the decisive pass are differential. Zinchenko is a footballer who handles the ball with exquisite finesse, with a refined technique that allows him to play the ball out from the back with clarity and precision, breaking pressure lines with ease. His left foot is a delight, capable of delivering measured crosses into the box, launching inside passes that assist the forwards, and shooting powerfully from mid-range. He is a game generator from the flank, a footballer who would bring a lot of fluidity to our ball circulation and who would increase the number of goal-scoring opportunities for our forwards. His style of play is pure Barcelona DNA. From Zinchenko's environment, the intention is clear. He wants to leave Arsenal in search of a greater role and a sports project where his talent will be fully valued, and he has said it loud and clear. His preferred destination is Barcelona. This gives us a crucial advantage over Atletico de Madrid and any other suitor, as the players will is often the most determining factor in this type of operation. Hansi Flick's approval of this transfer is the definitive confirmation of his value and that we are on the right path. Our new coach, a brilliant, meticulous strategist with a clear vision of what the team needs to return to the elite, has seen in Zinchenko the ideal profile for his system of high-pressure, possession, and dynamic attack football. His ability to be an offensive fullback who can play inside to generate advantages in midfield and to contribute to the creation of the game is something that Flick values highly, and that is fundamental to the modern football he wants to implement. The second piece of news concerns an important decision in our club. From the heart of our Condal city, where the passion for quality football never fades and where the gaze is always turned towards the future, news has arrived that fills us with optimism and that mischievous cool smile we all know. Barcelona has not thrown in the towel and never will, remaining the main rival, the sole and true obstacle for Real Madrid in the transfer of Martin Zubamendi. Our always visionary eyes have set on a talent that has us all on the edge of our seats, and what's even better is that the players' representatives themselves want to see him at Camp Nou, a desire that has been reinforced by the immediate approval of Hansi Flick, who considers that the arrival of Martin would be an immediate impact reinforcement in his renewed sports project. A bold move, a statement of intent, and undoubtedly a hard blow to the jaw of the eternal rival. It seems that Real Madrid has identified Martin Zubamendi as the ideal reinforcement for their midfield for the next season. The Real Sociedad midfielder has been recognized for his commanding ability in midfield and his tactical intelligence, qualities that, it is said, have not gone unnoticed in Valdebebas. His profile perfectly matches the idea of play that they want to consolidate in the merengue team under the direction of Xavi Alonso, who has insisted on his incorporation as a priority necessity. As if they were the only ones who know how to evaluate talent. While they obsess over a midfield profile that gives them balance, we, Barcelona, think about how his quality and touch DNA perfectly fit our non-negotiable philosophy. The Tolosera coach Xavi Alonso, who knows Zubamendi's environment firsthand and particularly appreciates his balance between defensive effort and precision with the ball, has expressed to the Madrid management that his arrival would be key in building the new project. But how obvious! The bet on the Donostiera footballer is not a whim. It responds to an in-depth analysis of the team's shortcomings and the potential offered by the young midfielder. While they analyze the shortcomings, we visualize how his talent will shine in our ecosystem of passes, movement, and asphyxiating pressure. At Real Sociedad, they are aware of the growing interest and know that it will be difficult to retain one of their pillars if a convincing offer arrives. Although Zubamendi has always shown his commitment to his current club, the leap to a European giant like Real Madrid could mark a before and after in his career. From San Sebastián, they are already preparing for a possible move that could materialize at any moment of the summer market. But the story is not as simple as they paint it. The White Club, for its part, is studying the best formula to secure his services, knowing that it is not just a transfer for the future, but a footballer capable of contributing immediately. Internal conversations have already begun, and the name of Zubamendi resonates strongly in the offices of Chamartin as one of the great objectives of the summer. But what they do not know or do not want to accept is that their great objectives often end up in the hands of Barcelona, especially when the players' will and the approval of our coach coincide in a perfect symphony. This battle, we will win. But why is the arrival of Martin Zubamendi so crucial, so exciting, and especially such a precise blow to the pride of Real Madrid? Allow me to detail the reasons that lead me to overflowing enthusiasm and that should ignite the excitement of every true Cule. Firstly, his tactical intelligence and commanding ability in midfield are exactly what we need. Zubamendi is a pivot with a privileged game vision, a metronome who knows when to accelerate the pace and when to slow it down. His ability to read the game, position himself correctly in defense, and initiate play with precise and impactful passes makes him a modern and complete midfielder. In football, where the midfield is the brain of the team, having a player with his ability to organize, recover, and distribute is vital for our style of possession and control. He is the type of footballer who provides balance, who allows building from the back with confidence, and ensures that the ball always circulates with fluidity. Secondly, his youth and immense growth potential are an invaluable treasure. At just 25 years old, which he celebrated on February 2nd, Martín Zubamendi is already a proven reality at Real Sociedad, an elite team in Spain with experience in European competitions. Imagine what he can become under the tutelage of a strategist like Hansi Flick, known for his ability to develop young talents, and surrounded by the demand and excellence of Barcelona. His progression has no limits. Here, he will find the perfect environment to refine his skills, learn from the best, and become a reference in his position at a global level. Investing in Zubamendi is investing in a decade of midfield control, leadership, and titles. His winning mentality, humility, and desire to improve are characteristics that perfectly integrate with the values of our club. Finally, and this is the sweetest for every Cule, the representatives of Martín Zubamendi want to see him at Camp Nou. This is not an unfounded rumor nor press speculation. It is a reality that comes to us from his closest circle, a confirmation that fills us with pride and deflates the aspirations of our eternal rival. The fact that a talent with the projection of Zubamendi and his own entourage choose our badge over other offers, even from clubs with greater immediate economic power like Real Madrid, speaks of the greatness of our club and the irresistible attraction of our philosophy. His desire to wear the blue and garnet jersey, to immerse himself in our touch-based style of play and grow under the guidance of Hansi Flick, is the best guarantee for his adaptation and success in our home. He is the footballer who understands that Barcelona is not just a club. It is an ideal, a way of life, a passion that transcends money and merengue offers. Barcelona's impeccable strategy, securing the future and delivering a hard blow to merengue pride. The approval of Hansi Flick for this transfer is the definitive confirmation of his value and that we are on the right path. Our new coach, a brilliant, meticulous strategist with a clear vision of what the team needs to return to the elite, has seen in Zubamendi the ideal profile for his system of high-pressure, possession, and dynamic attack football. His ability to be a pivot who can play both in front of the defense and in a double pivot to recover balls intelligently and distribute with millimetric precision is something that Flick values highly and that is fundamental to the modern football he wants to implement. The third piece of news concerns a huge bombshell at Barcelona. From the heart of our beloved Condal city, where the indomitable spirit of Barcelona never surrenders and where the ambition for greatness is our flag, the news we have all been waiting for has exploded like thunder in the European firmament. Barcelona is not slowing down. Our management knows no limits when it comes to bringing us back to the pinnacle of world football, and the jewel in the crown, the goal that will make us dream wide awake, is none other than bringing Erling Haaland to Camp Nou next season. Yes, Cules, this is not a dream. Conversations are advancing in giant strides, and enthusiasm is overflowing in every corner of our home. Reliable sources from England, those with access to the most intimate arcana of the market, confirm what we already felt in our souls. Our president Joan Laporta has already reached an agreement with Rafaela Pimenta, the sagacious representative of the Norwegian Colossus. This is the first step, the most crucial, laying the foundation for the arrival of the most decisive striker on the planet. Manchester City, for its part, has already been informed of the firm and resolute will of the player. Haaland wants a new challenge. He wants the greatness of wearing the blue and garnet, and the contractual clause that allows the departure of the Norwegian to clubs outside the Premier League for €150 million must be activated. A sum which, for a generational talent like his, is a guaranteed investment for years of goals and glory. Laporta, with his usual audacity and vision for the future, is now immersed in the monumental task of making the financial part of this historic operation viable. It is not an easy path, we know, but if there is someone capable of moving mountains for the good of Barcelona, it is our president. And a fundamental part of this strategy, this perfect mechanism for the arrival of Haaland, involves the departure of players who do not fit into the vision of our new strategist, Hansi Flick. Figures who do not adapt to the vision of the new project can generate significant income, vital for carrying out the transfer of the Norwegian striker. The doors thus open to the regeneration of the squad, the arrival of new blood, and, above all, the establishment of a new glorious cycle. But why is the arrival of Erling Haaland such a pressing necessity, such a unique opportunity, and, above all, a transfer that propels us into another dimension? Allow me to detail the reasons that lead me to overflowing enthusiasm and that should ignite the excitement of every true Cule, making the mere thought give us goosebumps. Firstly, his insatiable goal-scoring ability and his flair for goals are unmatched in current football. Haaland is not just a centre-forward. He is a goal-scoring machine, a predator in the box, a phenomenon who turns every opportunity into a deadly threat to the opponent. His goal-scoring instinct is pure, his finishing is ruthless, and his presence in the box is a constant torment for any defense. He has demonstrated season after season, in different leagues and competitions, that his ability to find the net is a constant, a guarantee of success. With Haaland at the forefront of the attack, Barcelona would have that offensive reference that assures us an immense number of goals per season, the link that we have missed in recent years to become invincible in Europe again. It would be the end of doubts in finishing and the beginning of an era of goal-scoring records. Secondly, his youth and immense growth potential are an invaluable treasure. At just 23 years old, which he will celebrate in July of this year if destiny wills it with the jersey on, Erling Haaland is already an established superstar, a footballer who has broken precocity records and who has already left his mark on the history of football. Imagine what he can become under the tutelage of a top-level strategist like Hansi Flick and surrounded by the demand and excellence of Barcelona. His progression has no ceiling. Here, he will find the perfect environment to refine his skills, learn from the best, and become a living legend of world football. A contract for 7 seasons with Barcelona is not just a long-term commitment. It is a statement of intent, a bet on the future, ensuring a decade of goals, domination, and historic moments at Camp Nou. Investing in Haaland is investing in an era of titles. Finally, his physical power, speed, and ability to stand out make him a complete striker and a headache for rivals. Haaland is not just a finisher. He is a physical prodigy, an athlete who runs into space like few others, who holds up the ball with his back to goal and who, despite his size, possesses surprising agility. His ability to generate danger from marking, to break through defenses with his runs, and to impose himself in aerial play makes him a lethal weapon in any situation. His presence would bring not only goals but also open spaces for other attackers, generate imbalance, and offer tactical variants that would greatly enrich our offensive play. He is the modern striker par excellence, the one who fits into any scheme and makes goalkeepers tremble just by looking at him. The negotiation table with Rafaela Pimenta has been a resounding success. The agreement with her and with the player himself is the cornerstone on which this operation is built. This demonstrates the skill of our president Joan Laporta in navigating the high spheres of football, convincing big names, and forging alliances that seemed impossible. The player's will is crucial, and the fact that Haaland chooses Barcelona over other European giants, some with greater current economic power, speaks of the greatness of our club, the magic of our badge, and the promise of an unmatched sports project. The approval of Hansi Flick for this transfer is the definitive confirmation of his value and that we are on the right path. Our new coach, a brilliant, meticulous strategist with a clear vision of what the team needs to return to the elite, has seen in Erling Haaland the ideal profile for his system of high pressure, fast attacks, and devastating efficiency. His ability to be the reference number 9, to pin down central defenders, and to be the final point of actions is something that Flick values highly and that is fundamental to the modern football he wants to implement. This demonstrates that Barcelona's sports planning is going in the right direction, looking for players who are not only talented but also fit perfectly into the coach's game idea and the culture of our club, this culture of excellence and hard work. The most delicate part of the operation is undoubtedly the financial part. The 150 million euros of the clause are a significant sum, but Barcelona is working intelligently and boldly to make it viable.